everyone? Welcome back to Track Talk Podcast. We are your hosts, Emma and Hannah. We are back with a very special guest today, a man who needs no introduction on this show, but we'll give him a short one anyways. You know him as Track Talk's favorite IndyCar driver and our former coworker.
Oh, yeah.
It's Conor Daly. Welcome to the show.
That's true. We were co-working and promoting IndyCar as we do. We try to do our best for the sport.
That was like highlight of Track Talk memories for sure. That whole weekend was just so much, I feel like, just fun.
Yes.
Especially working alongside you because we had never met you before. This was the Thermal Club, not this year, but last year, just for recapping. But
for the $1 Million Challenge, not even for a
race.
A race.
$1 Million Challenge.
Yeah. Well, I mean, IndyCar, they were trying to get creative, as I think a lot of people have given them grief for in the past, just to create something that people could get excited about because it wasn't a championship race. And then obviously the internet, of course, still hated it for some reason because, the internet wants to hate something at all times, but that's fine. But yeah, it was fun to be able to do something a little bit different, and then I obviously was only partially employed, so had to stay busy.
We have two like famous Conor Daly stories that we tell on this show from that weekend. One of them is okay, and you may not even remember, but we were sitting at a picnic table and a fan walked by wearing a Conor Daly t-shirt and you go, "Hey man." And the fan just goes, "Hey." And I had absolutely no idea who was saying hi to him.
But he was wearing a Conor.
I mean, that I love that. And every time I see someone wearing my shirt, I always say nice shirt to that person. And they may not know me. I don't care. I'm just like, hey, that's a great shirt. And these things I've realized now happen. I was at an event for a friend of mine the other day, and there was a person that came up to me. This is actually, I don't know why this happens, but this has happened a couple times. Someone walks up to me and is like, "Oh my gosh, my son is the biggest fan. He's got to take a picture with you." I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome. That's great." Brings the son over, and we take a picture. He's like, "So going to F1 with Cadillac next year, huh? That's got to be wild, right?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm not Colton. That's not. I'm not Colton." And he's like, "Oh, shoot, sorry." For some reason, this guy thought I was Colton Herta, and that I was very excited for my Cadillac Formula One reserve duties. And it's happened before. Someone has called me Colton because I guess our names begin with C, but this guy full on either was told or thought I was Colton Herta at the time, which honestly felt really cool, successful, like cool hair, all that stuff. Yeah. It was great.
That is so funny.
I would have ran with it. I would have been
too.
like, yeah, I'm so pumped. Like, I can't
I
wait.
I should have. But at that point, I actually froze. I was like, oh, that's not me. Sorry, dog. But again, great people, nice folks.
It was so funny. And like we said it when we first said or told the story, like you're not like offended. You think it's like honestly hilarious. And I think that that's what we love about you is that you don't have like an ego about these things. It's like that was just a silly moment and you enjoyed the humor out of it.
Yeah.
Got to do it. I mean, honestly, my life is a humorous charade most of the time. So that's what I've enjoyed, and we're gonna keep living.
Yeah. Our second one is when we went out to dinner with the IndyCar social team, and our old producer Boston was driving. And we were like, she goes, "Conor, I say nothing about my driving. If I have to parallel park, I don't want to hear it." And you're just sitting in the back with Emma and I like,
yeah.
Got it, boss.
Yeah. She didn't let you sit in the passenger seat. You had to sit in the back with us. He's like, because she was so scared. She's like, "I'm driving an IndyCar driver. I'm driving a professional race car driver." Yeah. Oh my God. Highlight.
And you know what? I don't judge anyone behind the wheel. If they're kind enough to take us to where we need to go, I'm letting them take over the control of the world right there.
Mm-hmm. That night, we also got a front row seat to the famous Conor Daly Twitter like rage baiting.
Oh gosh, man. It's a tough world out there.
Yeah. So I'm off Twitter now. Do you still do that? I know it's X but like, are you still into the rage baiting on Twitter.
I don't think I bait anyone with rage. I think I just get mad at dumb people.
That's
That's
so
so
fair.
that's
Okay.
not I feel like I still get after it every now and then. Last night I even got after it for the Oregon Ducks fans. I didn't like what they had. I don't know if you guys saw that. Indy
Yeah, it
500 is a
said,
Walmart F1
yeah,
Yeah.
sign.
I was so frustrated at that, but then for Indianapolis to just like win anyway, I was like, okay, there we go. There we go.
Yeah, awesome. I'm not even. I didn't go to college, right? I support Indiana teams. I'm an Indiana guy, so what Indiana, Purdue, all the colleges here. That's great. But it was a completely IndyCar takes far too many unnecessary shots that we just don't deserve. And
Yeah.
when I see stuff like that again, sports, there's a lot of trash talk, and it's very funny, especially college football fans. Oh my gosh, they
Mhm.
go after each other like that's their job. But I just felt I was like, this we don't need this. Like this is. I don't know if that was Big F1 jumping in there. They went straight to Oregon and they got to the Duck. Um, but I had to go. I had to go at it with this one fan who said, "How many wins do you have?" And I was like, "Exactly the same amount as Oregon had yesterday, 0." And so I
Zing.
thought that was funny. He then
Yeah.
obviously continued to tarnish my entire life, but I don't care. Like this is where it's sports. We had to go after it. But there's a lot of folks in racing on Twitter that it's really tough that because you would never say these things to anyone in real life.
No.
And that's the funniest thing about our fan base. We have incredible IndyCar fans are awesome. And the amount of interactions that we have per weekend that are just like fantastic conversations are great. And then as soon as you go online, it's like you're taking bullets to the I mean it's just crazy. I'm like none of you folks would ever actually say this to anyone in real life, but we have the anonymity of the internet. So
Mhm.
it's kind of a shame it is that way because after a while it definitely does get to you. Like it does get to me at times. It's like, man, this is just like really annoying to read because a lot of the drivers, even I mean, most drivers don't even use their socials anymore. It's someone else posting. But like I try to keep it genuine
Mhm.
just because it's myself. But yeah, I still get after it. I get in the weeds a little bit if necessary. Not as much anymore, but I definitely try to get in the weeds a bit and just maybe say some things that might help paint a better picture of a situation that someone might not be familiar with.
No, fair.
That's fair. And we're out here fighting the good fight too. We've been IndyCar fangirls since it's been a couple of years now, and we still get comments, even though IndyCar has grown so much, especially with the Fox deal. We still get comments whenever we post something. Watch Real Racing, like talk to me when you've been to an F1 race if we're at an Indy. Like
Oh,
it's just like
It's
you know
it's a weird unnecessary competition between Formula One and IndyCar when in reality,
oh
I'm
yeah.
like, if you like one of them, you're probably gonna like the other.
Yeah.
It's the same style of racing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that whole thing, it really gets to me in my bones. Like I'm like, I don't understand why there's like a measuring contest of like, yep, we're cooler than you guys. And it's like, well, actually, racing's cool. So I like motorsport and I
Yeah.
like watching cars do cool things that we don't do on a regular basis. And the funniest part about it is too, most of the F1 drivers love watching IndyCar. And it's
Oh
Yes.
like
yeah,
all of
they do.
the folks that go to war just trashing our fan base, like trashing our drivers. I'm like, you guys realize that most of the people that you support like actually are like race fans as well and like watch IndyCar. That for me is the most astounding thing ever. And I like me, I love racing too. If I'm on an off weekend, I'm gonna watch all the NASCAR. I'm gonna watch all the F1. I like racing. You know what I mean? So that's something that, again, you can be passionate about one over the other, but there's no need to like throw stones at the others because like why? I just don't understand the point of it, honestly.
No, we're right there with you. We see it and we don't get it. We're like, okay, your opinion, it's wrong, but that's your opinion.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, and those are the
Yeah,
same
it's
fans that are
fascinating.
quiet when Lando does come out and say, IndyCar is the most competitive racing and like, right. They're saying nothing at
They're
that point.
great quotes. Yeah. Like you
Yeah.
see like fantastic quotes and like the guys follow along. I
Mm,
mean, those are people that I obviously like grew up with and
yeah.
it's just funny to see. I just wish there was a more, and again, we're not in that stage of the world right now. Everyone just likes to argue about things on the internet because I think it's I think that people just enjoy the attention. But it's I wish we could all support the like all of the motorsport more because it is growing. Everything's growing. Like
Yeah.
it is. I mean, the whole rising tide, like IndyCar definitely grew this year. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of people, a lot of youth at the events, a lot younger of a fan base. Obviously, we saw all the Fox data that came out, like
Mm-hmm.
great skewing in the younger demographics. Um, and so I just wish it was less attacky and more like, hey, this is actually cool for everyone because as long as there's more people watching more motorsport, you get more motorsport to watch in the future.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you have like a good you have your finger on the pulse for social media and like you're very involved like we talked about on Twitter and you have a podcast for yourself and so how like we saw the data from Fox, but is there any like from a race weekend perspective, are you noticing like more females or like more media or more younger people that are like more interested in the sport? Like I know we see the data, we see people watching at home, but like from a in person on the racetrack perspective, you're noticing that as well.
I for sure. I think, and this isn't to point out person in particular, but I'm going to. The Pato Award fan base is
Mm,
so powerful and so massive.
yeah.
But that's good. Like that's it's not because of one person. It's just he's a very good young driver and he's from Mexico, passionate sports fans. Like that's awesome. But you also see that those people who might be discovering IndyCar for the first time might actually like to support other people too.
Mm-hmm.
I've had some Paddle fans be very nice to me too. They're all wearing Paddle stuff, and I'm like, that's great. Hey, glad you guys are here. This is awesome. But we need like two more Paddles, right? You need like two or three more of those drivers who have mobs outside of their trailers
Yeah.
every single time. And I think we can get there because there are very talented drivers in our series. The series is growing, but like it's just it was something that I thought was very noticeable at
Mm-hmm.
all of the races except for Iowa because Iowa sadly just wasn't promoted. But it was a great vibe everywhere,
Yeah.
and I do notice a difference because I've been in IndyCar. I'm old now, sadly, so I've been in the eras of you know we were on like NBC Sports Network, and you'd be on different like, oh, now a race got switched off this, and then you were trying to fight for TV time, and then now it just feels like we're at a slightly higher level. So I would say it for sure was noticeable for us.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, for us too, like even walking around, like you see more fans that look like us and can relate to us and on how we try to portray IndyCar and try to get people to watch it. So it's definitely nice to see.
And let me tell you one thing too. A lot of friendship bracelets, a lot of
Oh,
these too. Now I got a whole display pylon here for friendship bracelets that we got. A lot more of those. I never got those at the beginning of my IndyCar career. I even have a whole other bag here that I gotta put on another pylon of display.
Oh my
So shout
God.
out to those folks.
I love that you have them on display that because I mean we always wonder like what drivers actually do with their
yeah.
friendship bracelets and everyone says that they keep them and of course I like to believe that but to actually see them that's heartwarming.
Yeah.
Like that's so nice.
Well, I feel like if I have like kids someday, which I would like to do, if that'd be cool for them to check out. Like, oh, this is sweet. Like these are like really cool and really they're all unique. They're all a little bit different. So
Mhm.
it is very cool to see that type of. Well, first of all, they know our names. That's good. Like it used to be, people would show up to the track and
Well,
like, who the heck are these
sometimes.
guys? So it's good. Yeah, it's good that they know our names. That's good. And numbers, and some of them even have sponsors on it, and so our sponsors love to see that too. So it's all positive.
Until you get called Colton Herta and are given
Oh,
like a number 26 bracelet.
I'll take it honestly. That's a great car, great situation.
Yeah. That's a good segue actually. So it's and Emma wasn't there, so I'll paint the picture for you. It's the end of the IndyCar season. It's Nashville. Tootsie's is packed, absolutely packed. And Conor comes up to me and says, "Ask Colton where he's going next year." And I'm like,
Did I say that? Oh gosh.
"You stirring the
Those
pot.
must have been the high noons. Yeah.
Well, it was.
I mean, we figured out the entire offseason right there. Like
Yes.
Will Power was telling me about Andretti, and he was telling me that I needed to go this here, this there, or whatever. And I was like, man, I can't believe you're doing that, Colton. And he's like, I know. And the whole offseason was figured out there at Nashville at Tootsie's, and it was it was great.
And
It
you
was,
had the
I mean, I was
information?
happy for them, honestly.
And you wanted to spill because I also
Oh,
had Tiny Will with me, who
He's
yeah.
not here.
was not. And you said, ask Will what color suit you got to get for that guy next year.
Oh man, yeah, that might couple high noons, but I still didn't let it roll. You know
No.
what I mean? I still didn't let it out there.
No, but you wanted to. And
I did.
You know,
yeah.
I left a little earlier than I wanted to, but I was gonna circle back to that and a couple hours later. And okay, Connor, are you ready to spill now?
Yeah, I left early too, thankfully.
Um,
we didn't want to be we didn't want to be like a fake AI news website after a Nashville party night and just be like, oh no, all the news has been leaked.
That's fair.
Source Conor Daly. That's
So,
it.
you also, now this is where we have to talk about this. Okay. You and I have this mutual understanding that we don't love Lance Stroll as much as Emma does.
Hey.
Caught myself.
Yeah, I didn't say suck ever.
No, you're right.
But I am a little confused about Lance Stroll.
So-
Sometimes a little just confused.
Mhm. And so
I'm Lance Stroll confused. Yeah.
You guys, okay.
I caught
he's
myself.
not bad. Is he a Nepo baby? Yes. Respectfully, Connor, are you a Nepo baby too? Like,
I can count on one hand the amount of boats my father has, and that's zero. So
Okay,
I don't think
that's fair.
I don't think we have very similar upbringings in any way, shape, or form.
Okay, that's
yeah,
fair.
yeah.
okay.
I
Well,
like
I'll get you out of it.
Yeah, the Stroll boat is probably worth more than all of my family's existence, probably down to 4 to 6 generations, like back to the 1800s. So I'd say that boat is still worth more than most of my family has ever been. But hey, just Lance Stroll confused. That's all.
I was also confused because then you say, I saw that Emma has a man.
I did see that.
How did you know that?
How did you know that?
You guys don't realize that, like, I interact with a lot of people in the motorsports landscape. So my entire For You page, whether it's on Instagram or Twitter, is other people. It's people that I don't follow because I've interacted, I've seen posts, and I'm like, what was that? What was going on there? And I interact with the Track Talk pod. So there it is. It came flashing up, and I was like, what's going on here?
That's not
Lance.
Congratulations. Huh?
That's not
Lance. Yeah. That's the first thing I said. It's like, dang, her hopes are dashed.
It's okay. It's all right.
But congratulations.
Thank you. He also doesn't like Lance Stroll. So
Wow.
I think I'm just alone.
Who's his favorite driver?
He doesn't watch, but his parents do.
Oh,
so
okay.
He is not a Formula One fan, but his parents are. I think they like McLaren. Sometimes I'll ask him to like guess who's gonna win, and he said Piastri one time, and I was like, I'm very impressed.
Oh.
You spelt it right, and also you're probably right. Also,
That he's gonna win,
or like win a race. Like I'll be like, who do you think's winning today? Kind of thing. He's watched one race with me. We did watch
Just one? We got to bump those numbers up. Come
I
on.
know. I'm sorry. I don't know. I did get him to start watching the Indy 500 qualifying with me because for
Love
me, that is so entertaining.
best day of the year.
And he was like, they're just going out one at a time. Like this is all that's happening. Like, what about this is interesting? And I was like trying to explain like, no, you don't get it though. Like the track conditions change throughout the hour. And then there's 2 different lanes after everyone's gone. And I'm trying to explain it. And he was like, I'm going to go. Like, this isn't for me. I'm going to go.
Did he see the Colton Herta crash? I mean, come on. It's just crazy.
Yes. Whenever there's a crash or whenever there's an incident, he'll send it to me and he's like, whoa. And I'm like, this, like, there's more to the racing than just crashes. Like, I promise you, it is fun, but I'm slowly going to convert him into a motorsports fan.
All right. I respect that. Good for you. That's what we need. Tell him thank you from us for focusing on it a little bit more.
Make him a Conor Daly fan.
I will.
That'd be cool. Well, I'm sure we could get along.
No,
Both don't like Lance.
yeah, they
Or,
both don't like Lance. It's
or
fair. It's great. Um, we talk just a little bit of a segue, but like we talk about you so much on Track Talk that I think like our entire
Oh,
audience are not in like bad ways, but like we're always like
okay.
Conor Daly did this. This is where he finished in the race. Like we're always like you're one of our favorite drivers like in the series. So I think our audience has also become Conor Daly fans
yeah.
just from us. Like we're doing our best here. We're trying to spread the word about IndyCar. We're trying to talk about our
We're
drivers.
trying to get you that sponsorship money, Conor.
Yes, Conor.
You know what? I do appreciate that, and it means it does actually mean a lot though, because it's I know the funniest part about my career is this: the younger generation, the folks that have actually only got to IndyCar in the last couple of years, they don't know anything about what I actually already have done in IndyCar, like when I was a rookie and how I got there.
Mm.
Everyone's like, this guy's never won anything. It's like, well, actually, I actually had a decent ride up to the path of where I was, and so a lot of the younger folks, haven't got to see that side of me, and a lot of the folks that were fans from like day one, they're so loyal because they did see that, and they know what I guess I'm capable of in a really good situation,
Mm.
and I feel like it's been such a weird last few years, and I thought I was like pretty much fully out of IndyCar,
Mm.
not fully out, but just doing the 500. And then when you get a chance to do something and immediately, it goes well at the end of last year,
Mm.
it's such a revitalizing situation. And then this year, it's I've got enough experience in this sport now to know that there's so many things that you have to do to be successful. And it's not just a flip of the switch. Alex Palou is very good. Chip Ganassi Racing is very good. There are so many very good teams that do everything it takes to win. And if you're just missing the smallest of things,
Mm.
it's not anyone's fault. It's literally just what makes motorsport hard.
Mhm.
There's in every motorsport, there is the really, really the best teams, and then there are people that are just missing a little bit. And
Mm.
so it's about finding those small things. But the fact that people support me and through this the highs and lows of we had a lot of really good races this year, and so to at least give people something to cheer for is really awesome. And it does mean a lot because again, I do get a lot of the other side, which
Yeah.
is it does, as much as people will say like, well, just don't look at it. I'm like, well, you can't just do that. Like it's not you have to be you got to really get rid of all the social accounts if you're not going to look at that stuff. But that's also part of the job. The reason I have AMPM as a
Yeah.
sponsor and Arco and these people is because of these social platforms
Mhm.
as partially, right? That's all very important. So you have to go there.
Mhm.
So to feel some support and to see the not the good things, obviously there's going to be tough things too, but
Mhm.
it really does mean a lot to someone like me who I don't get to have trophies raining upon me at on a regular basis. So that stuff's cool to hear, honestly, and I
Mhm.
appreciate it.
Well, I will say too, from a fan perspective, we were both at the 108th running, and then I was at the 109th this past year. And I have never, like, it's only 2 years I've been to IMS, but it feels different, and it's so much louder when you have been leading. Like I think you led 13 laps this past year, and there was a few last year as well. I can't remember how many, but it's just like IMS like
Mhm.
comes alive when you're leading, and that's a testament to like homegrown guy loves IndyCar through and through, and like the people know that. And honestly, like I don't know, you probably don't hear any of it when you're in the car, but like
We can attest to
Not
it.
yeah.
No, but the coolest thing, I wish you could bottle that up into a little bottle and like release it when I'm out of the car because that would be like the video of my when I first took the lead and you could actually hear the crowd. I literally cry every time I see it. And
Yeah.
it's maybe that's soft, but like it's really cool because you're like, wow, people actually legitimately care about what I have dedicated my entire existence and living and breathing every day to.
Yeah.
And that's really cool. And I also love sports. Like any sports moments that are like you kind of know the emotion of it. Like people know that that's my hometown. And like
Mm-hmm.
I've been through the ringer occasionally here and there. So like you want to like I love those emotional sports stories. They'll always tug at my heart a little bit.
Kind of going back to like us being coworkers for that weekend. I think one thing too, and why Emma's saying that like we talk so highly about you on this show is like we personally talk about this too. Like we meet you that weekend, and like you were kind of like you said, kind of down. It seemed like you felt like yeah, your IndyCar career was limited to just the 500 at that point. But and then you have these two content creator girls from Canada that are just like run up to you and they're like, "Hi, teach us about IndyCar," and you just like did not need to embrace us in that way. And as a matter of fact, I don't know if a lot of other people in your position would have, but like genuinely like thank you for your support and like making us feel comfortable in that scenario, because objectively like it is intimidating coming into that landscape. Yeah. And not, you know, people are going to criticize being new fans, being female, the size of the audience, blah blah blah. And so just genuinely thank you, because you were like, let's go for dinner, and we were like, okay,
yeah, for sure.
Well, I mean, again, at the end of the day, I feel like I've always seen our sport as and maybe this is weird because it's been where I've like lived my whole life, but I feel like I've met a lot of great people in this sport. Now there are some people that are like they're the older generation fans is like new fans, nah, like bunch of kids these days. I'm like, well, I don't understand that thought process because I was a kid at one point too, trying to like get into the IndyCar paddock and like see what was going on. And but that I think that number of folks is dwindling now because it feels like there are so many new people now coming into the IndyCar world and learning, and you see it, you know, all my For You page. I was like, oh, these people were at IndyCar races. Like, that's cool. Didn't know that was happening. You know what I mean? But that's what is helping us grow.
Yeah.
So for me, I've always been a person of like, yep, get on out to the racetrack. Like, here we go. Let's learn about it. Let's figure it out. So yeah, I feel like I've always been throughout my career just excited that new people are coming to the track because that's the whole goal. Every year I try to invite new people to the Indy 500. People that have never been, friends of mine. I was like, you have to come. Doesn't matter what, like you fly wherever you're coming from. You got to get to the race. And every single time it's the same reaction. This is the coolest thing we've ever been to. Or Long Beach. Like I've got a lot of California friends. They come to Long Beach like, we're IndyCar fans now. This is awesome. Now it takes a lot more of that, but I do think that it's helping, and I truly believe that our sport, for the most part, is very welcoming to folks because you can kind of go anywhere and do anything, and you can talk to anyone, and there's not really another motorsport like that.
Yeah. And that number is dwindling. You're right. But you know, there are always those interactions that stick with you. Like I'm thinking like,
oh yeah.
And there, but then, so last year in Nashville, I was off doing whatever. This is like after the race at the bar, Emma ends up talking to a well-known IndyCar reporter.
Oh,
he starts to quiz her, and she held her own.
Wow, you got quizzed at a bar?
And he did not expect her to be able to hold her own to begin with, and also have the confidence to be like, actually, no, your fandom is that it's no different than mine. Like, yes, you've been in it longer, but like we know the same amount of things at this point. And like, sorry, dude, but like we're here to stay. And honestly, like, first of all, when she told me this, I was disgusted because that was our first and only experience. And then
I don't like that. First of all, I've not to interrupt you. Really,
no, go for it.
Sorry to interrupt. That's absurd. That whole demonstration of like, guess what? I'm gonna do the 21 questions here and be like, that person's not very smart. It's like, what does that mean for anyone else other than your own ego? It doesn't mean anything.
In the moment, I was just like so taken aback. And I was like, what? Like, what am I being asked for now? And then when he realized that he knew what I was talking about, he flipped it and was like mean.
Then it becomes that
it was like, well, you're just doing this for social media. And then like started to like attack the podcast and like attack like what we're doing. And so then of course I started crying because like I'm emotional, but like it just threw me off. I was like, what? Huh? Like I'm here for we're here for the series finale of a sport that we love, and you're getting upset with me because I'm talking about it even if I'm not as old of a fan as you. It was just such a bizarre moment. I'm not gonna name names. I'll text you the name
Oh, I
after.
want to
But
know
like,
offline. I got to know off. I want to know. I'm going to get in the weeds at some point and figure
Yeah.
this out. Like,
Yeah. Well, and
that's crazy though. It's absurd but that's
it's like we're both
again,
here for the same reason.
yeah.
Why am I being attacked?
ask him to show you his media credential because I bet you yours looks exactly the same.
For real.
Oh,
For real. For real.
credential game. Yeah, let's get him out. Get him out.
They look the same. We also did a live show last year in Nashville, and we were kind of coming off a high of like we had almost 100 people come out to see us talk about IndyCar, and that was like eye opening for us. So then to come from that high to like the quizzing game, I was like, fuck this.
Like, no.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah, I don't. What's really frustrating sometimes is we go to these like pre-event media situations, and whatever event it is, there's a, like there's a, at Milwaukee, there was a luncheon, right? And you talk to all these people, and several of the people, now again, they're all covering IndyCar, and we love that. But when you go to an F1 race, it's very, very structured. If they're doing media, it's like every actual television station that exists in the world. And you're like, okay, cool. All these people are very that's awesome. And we obviously are not F1, so we're not going to get there yet. And we got to talk to everyone because they're supporting us. However, there are some people that I would say don't need to not be there, but we need to have some sort of influx of younger folks as well who are actually also caring about the sport, like you guys, or just anyone that might actually be a little bit more in tune with like the current reality. Because like I got asked immediately, this was right after I got asked a question, and I'm like, are you serious? It was, I don't know if you guys have, I got deep into the fake AI Facebook IndyCar pages, and where people are just going wild, these pages that don't exist, and they just post things to make people angry. Slightly older folks on Facebook, that's the community out there. And this lady asked me, so she's like, so Dennis Hauger's going to Juncos, huh? And I was like, no. It's like, I mean, that was a fake website that put that out. And she's like, oh, I thought I saw it. I was like, that's like, that's not a real question to ask anyone, first of all. Like, I mean, yes, you could ask, like, what do you think about a rumor? But like that never came from a real media source, which we're trying to, like, we want to seem like a very legitimate and high level sport. And then all of a sudden we're getting asked about fake AI Facebook page articles that don't exist. Like, come on, we got to be able to, and like younger folks can pick that stuff out. We can see what's real and what's not pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And so I'd like to just avoid going through that, because it just makes us feel like, well, that's kind of a shame that even has to be a question. Like, this isn't like, I don't know if you guys know, he didn't go to Juncos.
He didn't. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was never going to happen. So it was just very funny to have to kind of answer a question like that when you know that like some of the younger generation would definitely not fall for something like that.
Yeah, yeah. But also, like, what is the desired response? Like, oh yeah, that's my seat. Like, what?
Yeah, I don't know what I'm like. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
No way. I didn't know
Congrats.
this.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, there are so many rumors. I don't know if you guys heard, but Joseph Newgarden was retiring according to a Twitter account that didn't exist. You know what I mean? Or someone was retiring. And it was like, you guys realize that you're just going with something that some random person just put out when he was probably drunk at 2 a.m. Like, yep, I'm gonna get some to fly off the internet. Like, we gotta just check what's going on right here at the door, and just figure out what's real and what's not.
Yeah, IndyCar memes is going to be like the next like hard-hitting news source, if according to all these people.
It's wild what is out there, and sadly, the internet though. What generates more views? Conversation, right? Like engagement.
Yeah.
So all it is if you can farm engagement, like sadly, someone's making money off that, and even if it's wrong, people will still put it out there anyway. So that I wish we could kind of limit.
Yeah.
Because it is a bit of a shame. But whatever, it's the world we're living in. I still, if I'm going to find actual real racing news, it's probably going to come from, folks that have verified accounts or folks that you like know are real people.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm a little bit deep into the world, so you kind of see these things and you're like, well, I know that's not true, but you can't
Yeah.
say anything about it because you don't want to
Can't be the
throw,
one to like
throw
break the
people the
news.
wrong.
Yeah, or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So like I've seen, I've seen certain things about me having conversations with teams or not having conversations with teams. Um, but to be honest, this world is really gnarly, like behind the scenes. We're seeing it in the McLaren lawsuit battle right
Yes.
now. There's
Yeah.
a lot of conversations that are murky, I would say at best, and there's a lot of amazing people that I've met in the racing world, and I've got to drive for so many race teams. But it is, I think, if people really knew how a lot of these deals got done, or how a lot of the deals are executed, or how a lot of the deals, may or may not be executed. It is. I wish there was a slightly higher standard for some of that stuff. So I think some of the rumors that you hear are purposeful to create something, for someone and to create chaos.
Hmm.
And most of the time, the rumors that are like way out there. I remember there was a rumor that Chip Ganassi and Tom Brady are putting out a fourth Indy 500 car. I don't know if you guys remember that one. I'm like, what? And apparently, I found out that there was talk of that. Like it did, like, but you can't just put that out there
Yeah.
Mhm.
without it being like. When I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, like let's maybe that would be way cooler to see as a real thing. And
Yeah.
hopefully it didn't stir a bunch of stuff that made it not happen, right?
Right.
Like some of
Right.
those rumors could actually create enough chaos to where it's like, oh, man, maybe we're actually not gonna do that anymore. So that's what I find very crazy. So I don't know about
Yeah.
rumors about myself, but
Mm.
definitely seen some wild stuff out there.
Hmm. Well, I would say at the end of this past season, some of the stuff I was starting to see right before the season ended, I was like, no way. Like Will Power to Andretti, no way. And then some of that actually comes
I
true.
know.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, to be fair, you are correct about that. And this was, I would say, probably the wildest off season in at least times that I can remember.
Mm.
And yeah, Will Power was the big one. And David Malukas going to Penske and
yeah.
all these things and Colton Herta going overseas. So yeah, maybe sometimes these things can start to brew up. But when I first heard that, I was like, how's that going to happen?
Yeah.
I said, no.
Like,
I was
what
like,
are
No.
these? What's the
yeah,
stream
because
of
Graham
events?
Rahal said it on my podcast. And I was like, no, that's not going to happen. He said it. And I was like, what? That's crazy. I was like, how would that work? He's like, I don't know. Just, I can see it. I was like, oh, okay. Graham Rahal knew before everyone else.
What the
I don't know.
heck?
Yeah.
I wonder what Graham would have said
Graham's a wizard. He knew.
or in
Yeah.
Nashville. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just got a crystal ball he's looking into.
Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
actually, speaking of like the Formula One or Formula Two with Colton going over, you and I and Emma had a conversation kind of about like the super license saga last year when we were in Palm Springs, but that has come up again. Lots of discourse about super license points, about now Colton going to F2, about Dennis coming over from F2, stating that there was no room for him to grow there. What is your take on Colton's decision to give it a try? And like, we know that you and Alex Rossi were two of the guys that attempted this earlier on in your careers. So what do you think is going on right now with Colton?
Yeah. There was a funny graphic that I think one of the motorsport journalists put out that said like drivers who had done an IndyCar race and then went to F2 and they left me out of it. I was like, come on, I did the Indy 500 in 2013 and then F2 in 2014. So it was a shame I got left out. I was doing F3 at the time and IndyCar, which is hilarious. But no one in America knew what F3 and F2 was at that time. So that was a completely different world. Now F2 is like might as well be the NBA, like with the way people pay attention to it in America. Like that might have been a shot at the NBA. I love the Pacers in the NBA. That wasn't meant to be a shot, but
great playoff run.
it's being. Let's just say that most like any driver who's come over from F2 to IndyCar like already has more followers than most IndyCar drivers. So that just means it's big, and that was just different to what I saw. So I think first of all, it's highly unnecessary for Colton to have to do F2. In my own personal opinion. I think it is a respectful thing to do for the ladder system over there and to learn the tracks. I think it could go either well or really badly.
Yeah.
because stuff happens in racing, right? Like it's not an easy game. There are a bunch of really good young drivers over there, as there should be and as there will be. But there's also it's still a support category.
Yeah.
And what do you see in support categories? Some crazy stuff
Yeah.
sometimes and complete innocent victims of some wild kids that are eventually going to not be race car drivers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's going to be, they're going to do something else. Um,
Texting and driving?
the
Who said that?
Maybe that, yeah. Insurance salesman. I don't know. Something going on. Yacht salesman. I don't know. But there's there's so many things that me as a race fan, I'm excited about. I'm
Mhm.
like, this is our guy. Like this is our guy going over there, and I can promise you, it's very difficult to do,
Yeah.
and he will be under the biggest microscope of all time, and Europe is going to be ready to step on his neck in every way, right? That's just the way it is. Like people say that sometimes you're like, oh no, it's not really like that. It is absolutely that. It is that way.
Yep.
Um, I mean, we saw how difficult it was just to get the Cadillac Formula One team to exist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They basically had to excommunicate Michael Andretti and Mario Andretti from the
Yes.
world to get it to happen. You know what I mean? Like that's wild. Um, but it's something that I respect Colton a lot for. And I remember, I mean, I was on a balcony in Vegas for Colton's 21st birthday. And he thought at that time, like we were literally, I'll never forget this, looking over at the Cosmopolitan, just looking at the streets of Vegas. He's like, man, I think I'm going to go to F1. I was like, that'd be awesome. I was like, I think you should do that. And obviously it took a couple years, but he's had that thought in his mind, and I think that he is one of the most naturally skilled drivers that I've ever seen, and certainly one that has a lot of upside and a lot of ability and potential. So the F2 thing is kind of annoying, and I don't really understand it, but I see the reason for it. I just hope that by the time he gets through that and figures it out, because I do believe he will figure it out for sure. It's a different tire, very difficult to understand, but the cars aren't necessarily too different. Same, almost similar power, similar downforce levels. Um, but it's just cool. Like
Yeah.
it's just something that I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna wear a Colton shirt at an F2 race at 8 in the morning, whatever it is, and I'm gonna do it because that's our guy, right? And I feel like a lot of people, certainly from this side of the world, should be proud that he's going to go over and try to do that.
But like, yeah, part of the reason why he has to go to Formula Two is because he doesn't have those super license points, but which is absolutely absurd to me because the amount of similarities between IndyCar and Formula One there are, it's still so impossible to get those super license points, even from finishing in the top like 3 in the IndyCar series. Like there's so many hoops people have, like these drivers, you guys have to jump over to get the points. And it's like, I just seems so unfair. Like
It is. Because I mean, I grew up in an era where that there were no points, and all of a sudden you'd see some people in F1, you're like, how did that happen? But they just made it happen. And now again, maybe this does qualify you better to be there, but I also don't really necessarily understand that because I think there are several drivers that you've seen. If Red Bull wants to make it happen, they're going to make it happen, right? Like it's like some drivers maybe aren't necessarily held to that same standard, or at least the idea is put in place. Like, he doesn't have a super license, but he's our guy, so we're gonna put him in there. Yeah, the whole super license thing is completely screwed up. That I think will forever. I mean, even the F1 drivers have said that before.
Yes,
Like
they have.
that's kind of
well,
crazy.
I mean, just on the other way, like in the most recent years, like Ericsson and Grosjean didn't need to get a certain amount of points to make the switch over to IndyCar. But like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Like thinking about it like that,
Yeah.
it's like, why is Formula One on such a higher level that you want to come over here? No, we're going to make it really hard for you. You're actually not going to be able to. Like, I don't get it. Whereas IndyCar is like, you want to come race? Okay, come on in,
Give it a try. Well, the only thing that I will say we do have, which is good, and this isn't really that difficult, but like you've got the whole, like you do have to be approved to do an oval race, right? So
Yes,
that
yes.
is something that people have to go through because I think IndyCar used to not do that, and there were some drivers you're like, "Ooh, probably shouldn't be out there." But now it's a very strict process. But again, most people get through that because any of the folks that have come over, are very good drivers.
Yeah.
But it does take some time to figure that out. But yeah, on the F1 side, what is going to be really interesting is like, what if Colton does really well?
Yeah.
Like, what if Colton gets to F1 and does really well? Like what happens to the whole mantra of like we are the best and like we are better than you guys? That because that is a big thought process over there. Like, it is.
It
Like
is a
Formula One's the
it's
best,
100% a
and it is.
possibility.
It's the world championship. Like that's I completely respect that. It is the world championship. It is the best of the best, the biggest money. That's absolutely. But like, what if he does well?
Yeah.
I mean,
What if?
that would kind of be a big blow to the ego, and that's why I worry a little bit about like as much as people don't believe this, there's a lot outside of the driver's control in racing. There's a lot of little buttons and little things that can be and I don't want to go into conspiracy island, but like there's a lot of things that could be, that could be against Colton. But I'm going to say that thankfully, Cadillac obviously believe in him. And Dan Tauris and all the folks at TWG over there, those folks want to see him do well more than anyone else. So that's good. So now we just have to hope that that team obviously develops at a high level.
Yeah.
And if he does make it to Formula One, that when he gets there, there's a chance to show his stuff.
And I hope
That's what I like the most is actually Colton is not only going over there with the support to do it, and that even if for some reason the whole world comes crashing down, well, he's going to have a seat in IndyCar no matter what.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
But he's got the support that like, hey, F2 goes a certain way. We want to see you in F1. And guess who owns the team? The guy that believes in you in America as well and has seen you be the youngest IndyCar driver in history and has seen you fight at the front for so many years, has qualified on pole, made some incredible drives in his career. That guy believes in you and that whole group believes in you. So that's good, I would say.
Yeah, we're really excited to watch it all play out. As I'm sure you are. Do you think so? You're saying you're gonna like get out there. Does that mean like you're gonna be in person?
Oh, me and the boys are going. Yeah, we're in several. Colton and I are in several group chats with several of my friends here, and we're making T-shirts. I don't care if we have to go to Budapest or Spain, wherever it is. I'm gonna be out there on the grid. They might not even let me on the grid if I'm wearing jorts, but I'm gonna be over there, and it's gonna be full support. Like I don't care what it takes. I want them to know that we support our guy.
I like that.
There needs to be like a fan base name for Colton Herta fans. Like I think that you need to workshop that, Conor. I feel like you could come up with something good.
Like, yeah, well, I off the top of my head, I could. Yeah, we're gonna have to figure that out. But there does need to be some sort of
Herta's
hashtag.
hoes.
That's probably not going to sit well with his girlfriend, but probably not going to sit well with Riley. But
we met Riley; she's fantastic.
I know. But probably not going to sit well. But I'll be a Herta hoe. Heck yeah, I'll be out there. I'm a Colton guy. Yeah, I like that. I like Colton Herta, and I'm going to support him. I maybe not with that hashtag, but we're going to support him somehow.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Well,
we're going to support him somehow.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about Colton actually. Somehow this interview has turned into a Colton.
That's a big thing, though. It's a big topic in the motorsport world, so I respect that.
Well, and it's also just like something that like very early on from meeting you, like you talked about like the super license saga and like your experience. And I remember you saying that you and Alex Rossi went through this, and it was like you said we were in the trenches, and like I totally get that. So I wanted to ask just kind of what you thought of this new era of, I guess, the IndyCar growing, but also one of their biggest stars like leaving to pursue a dream. And that's if he actually gets to F1, you are going to have to make some post about that story from Vegas because that's quite a story.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was a different time, but it was just funny to see. And yeah, back in our times, me and Alex Rossi, it was like not cool yet to be associated with an F1 team. Like I drove an F1 car like 4 times, never even got a suit. Now, if you have one press release with the team, you're getting suits and helmets, and everyone's affiliated with an F1 team. But it's just times change, right? Things change. I remember like we were doing the whole sim development for the Force India Formula One team, and it was like not but they didn't want to announce it because we gotta. It was just very low key, and then now it's. I actually like what Formula One has done. I do like that they're supporting young drivers. I love the fact that they're like almost every single F1 team has some sort of junior development program.
Yeah.
I think that is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I might have missed it just by a little bit,
Yeah.
but it's cool that is happening for these drivers who want to have that chance at being a Formula One driver. I think that's awesome.
Yeah. Let's talk about you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yikes.
So you have had a really successful run with JHR since coming into the car halfway through last season. You had their highest qualifying result, their highest race result. And so just congratulations for your success coming into the car, like, and not really like being super prepared to do that at that time, right? I'm sure you had a bigger heads up than those of us on social media saw. But anyways, and then, I listened to Speed Street when last year or this past year, things seemingly kind of fell apart a little bit with your sponsorships. And I listened to that whole thing and I really tried to make sense of what you were saying about crypto, but I don't understand.
I know. Yeah. No, we definitely, like, our deal for this year came together at the very last minute.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a certain amount of funding that needs to be in place to actually just run a team.
Yeah.
Like, hopes and dreams don't pay bills, right? Like, that's just not what happens. But I think that I was in a position to where the team believed in me. They wanted to give me a chance because of the podium that we got together, and obviously giving them their best result as a team ever was something that hopefully counted for something.
Mm-hmm.
And I had obviously won a championship for Ricardo Juncos before, so there was something that was tying me there. And honestly, all those guys on my car were the same guys at Carlin that when I qualified on pole for them at Iowa. So like
Mm-hmm.
there was a great feeling there already, but we didn't know how we were going to do it. And we thought we were going to get, I'm not even going to name them because they don't deserve to be named, but a previous sponsor of mine who we had put this whole program together that was going to be a great program once again. And then one guy basically set it on fire and made it explode like 2 hours to go. Like the deal was going to be done within hours.
Yeah.
And he was like, who the heck are these guys? Dead. And I was like, oh, well, that changes people's lives more than you might know.
Right.
So we had to basically go into emergency mode. And thankfully, Brad Hollinger obviously is behind Juncos as well.
Yeah,
and he is able to keep the doors open, right? He is the guy that, keeps the doors open behind the scenes and helps out when necessary. And so there was a bit of a trust factor that was going into the year. And even one of our first partners that we kind of brought in on the last second for a couple races at the beginning of the season, they still owe us a tremendous amount of money. And that ended up being a situation where you're like, oh my gosh, of course, we thought we had something again.
Yeah.
And they ended up still owing us a tremendous amount of money. But then I met this incredible person from AMPM and ARCO at the Long Beach autograph session.
Are you
And
serious?
he
No
all
way.
Long Beach autograph session. You never know who you're going to talk to. Him and his family, incredible people. He runs all the partnerships for essentially like Marathon Petroleum and AMPM, ARCO gas stations, which Marathon Petroleum is a large company. That's very, very large. And Bill couldn't have been a greater person to us. He's like, hey, do you still need sponsorship? I was like, yep, more than you possibly know.
Yeah.
And that's why I continue to wear this AMPM hat, because those guys, they completely at least gave our season a little bit of life.
Yeah.
They gave us a little bit. Now, again, it's not a large amount of money, but it is something that certainly kept the doors open. But yeah, long story short, it was still basically every weekend. I didn't honestly know if I was going to be around at the next weekend, because if they found another driver with, a lot of money, they could have easily, just put him in.
Mm-hmm.
But we did have a lot of situations where we missed out on results at the beginning of the year. St. Pete, we were well on to finish in the top 10, and we didn't have a new set of tires when we needed a new set of tires. So like there was all kinds of things that, so many smart people were at our team, and there's such a great group there, but it was all like year one for people.
Yeah.
I don't think people realize that there's so much that happens development wise per weekend, per year in IndyCar. I use this example a lot because this has happened many times, but guess who struggled this year? Team Penske. Excuse me?
Really?
They're the best.
Mm-hmm.
They were not able to use all of the things that they succeeded with last year because IndyCar teams and drivers and engineers, you develop new stuff and new ideas and new stuff every weekend.
Yeah.
Will Power, he said on my podcast, yeah, we showed up with our Portland P1 setup from last year. We were 18th in the first practice
Yeah.
session. That's because it's hard. You have to do more work. And so we were all discovering these things for the very first time, and it does take time to understand those things. Now, for the ovals, that's a little bit easier for me because you can rely more on the aero and the tire grip that the car has. So it's not that stuff. It comes a little bit more natural to just be able to drive around a few small things. And on the road courses, you're kind of just stuck in the window if you haven't figured out what to do yet.
Yeah.
So it was just a challenge for us throughout the year, and I wish a lot of things went better because I think we at one point we were like we're going to finish in the top 12 in the championship.
Yeah.
Like we thought that there were a couple places like we were working on things development wise that were going to go well, and something happened, and so. Yeah, it was a shame. I mean, we were ahead of Joseph Newgarden in the championship at one point deep into the year, which is absurd. But you have to have everything go perfectly, and we didn't at times, but we had a couple great races as well. So I'm still really proud of the effort that we had.
Yeah.
But it was really difficult, and it is still really difficult.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Can we?
I talked too much. Sorry, but that was
No.
I like to paint the picture of the actual reality of what happens during a year.
Yeah.
Because this isn't just stuff that I'm making up. Like this is just like, hey, this is what happened. These are the difficulties that we come across, and this is how we have to get through them.
Well, and like the average viewer just watching doesn't like they don't know everything that goes on behind the scenes, or
Yeah.
they don't understand why are they dominating on ovals, but why can't they finish like a street race kind of thing?
Yeah.
So
It's just a math equation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I just try to paint people like I'll paint the picture for like if I made a mistake as a driver, like like, hey, that was bad.
Mhm.
You know, like I made a mistake at thermal qualifying and we should have qualified on the top, but I did that wrong. So like I'm happy to, admit that part, but there's so many things that go together to put together a good race weekend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can we ask, and if you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to. Can we ask what your future or even like this next year kind of looks like for you with racing? And
Probably a lot of unknowns.
yeah, I would assume a lot of unknowns.
Yeah.
And it's
No, I mean we've talked to everyone out there that had a seat. There are some seats that went away because of our support was not big enough. We do have sponsorship. Like we have a great amount of sponsorship with AMPM and ARCO again for next year. But even if it's millions of dollars, it's not quite enough millions of dollars.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
Which is
insane.
wild at times.
Yeah.
And my whole goal was to be with JHR again because I think they see like I told Brad Hollinger the other day, and he didn't know this. I was like, Brad, I've never once in my whole life ever been with a team for 2 years in a row, ever in my whole life. And he's like, wow, really? I was like, yeah, never once in my whole life, ever.
Wow.
Like 2 full seasons, same car, same situation, ever.
Yeah.
And continuity is so important in this
Yeah.
sport, and it's so helpful. And I just that would be really cool.
Yeah.
But I think that it's very easy to try to see the green grass on the other side. Like, oh, that's going to be better for us.
Yeah.
And ECR thought the same thing when they were going to put Ryan Hunter-Reay in my car.
Yeah.
And it went only worse.
Yeah.
So that for me is still my favorite moment of my whole life because I was like, guys, I was right.
Yeah.
Like I'm sorry. Like I don't mean to say that as like a weird thing, but like it was very just kind of
Validating.
it was nice for me to see like, hey, you know what? I wasn't crazy.
Yeah.
And it's a similar situation now. Like I'm like, hey, I'm going to try to do the best I can to stay positive about what we've got going on. And I would like to be back in IndyCar full time, but I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't know right now.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll see. I think you're going to see me at the Indy 500 in some way, shape, or form, no matter what.
Of course.
But I feel like I was driving better than I ever have in my career, and I was really excited to kind of keep this going. And we would like to do that, but I think that there, I don't know. It's a weird time of year. One week you think all of a sudden everything's great, and the next week the whole world is collapsing. So
Yeah.
it's really a stressful mental situation. I I think I need a dog. Like that's the one thing I've decided in the off season. Like I'm like, I
Hannah's
need a
getting a
dog.
dog.
I am
That's
also
what
looking for a dog right
that's
now.
what I
Yeah,
want more than anything.
you
It's a
totally
dog.
should. And
Yeah.
I
then,
need this little pup down here to just give me a hug at some
yeah.
point. That's
And
all we need.
if you ever need
So
someone to watch your dog during a race weekend and we're there, we got it.
Oh my God,
there you go.
absolutely.
There you go.
Obviously, like no one likes the uncertainty, but wherever you do end up, or if it is just the 500, or if you end up going to different series, like you do have so many fans that are going to follow you, and like us included.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, but like, it's still early.
I got the Indy
It's
8
only...
hour. I don't know when this episode's coming out, but I got the Indy 8 hour coming up next weekend. Very excited about that. It's race
Exactly.
week again. So
it'll be out
we got
before
something
then.
going on.
Yeah. Amazing. Who are you racing with for that?
The Random Vandals racing team. So the same team that I raced with last year. The raccoon is their mascot. And great group of people over there. And I think I'm going to be doing some more stuff with them in the future too, which will be fun. But yeah, it's nice to have like that guy who owns that team. Again, this is something that comes and goes in racing sometimes. Belief in your guy, in your driver, your guy or girl, whatever it is. This guy who owns that team has believed in me since I was a kid. And he saw all of my go-kart wins. He was there at the track. He saw the championships. And that guy still, no matter what's like, Conor hasn't forgot how to drive. And I'm like, hey, I respect that. Thank God that we got this guy still. So so that's what's cool. He brings me in to do these races, and it's a lot of fun. And I get to race with Will Power too. He's out there.
Let's go. That's our
Will Power sports car debut. Someone was saying, so that'll
also
be
our
cool.
guy, also a favorite over here at Track Talk.
Yeah.
It's weird to see his social handles as 26 Willpower.
Right?
We talked about that on, I think, last episode. We're just like, what? This isn't right. It's
like from a
crazy.
sponsorship perspective, like Willpower is Verizon. Like David's not Verizon. Like what?
Oh.
Throws me off.
I know. I don't even know. What's he going to do when, like, I don't know what it's going to like. Is he going to be in a black and yellow Cambridge suit? Crazy. You think he's going to get a beard? I don't think you're allowed to have facial hair at Penske. Like, is Will Power going to have like a dad beard? I don't know.
Oh my God. Can't wait. Oh, I can't wait to see it. I need a new tiny Will Power.
Yeah.
Is it going to be gray? I don't know. Who knows?
It might be. It would be, I think.
Is he going to have a goatee? A Will Power goatee? I don't know. I'm excited about it.
Questions for the off season. Yeah. Will Power have facial hair next season?
People want to know.
Anything that you want to shout out? I would assume maybe take a few minutes to talk about Speed Street,
which is fantastic, by the way. I listen when I can, and you guys do such a great job. And it seems like you and Chase have gotten into like a good routine. And
no, I appreciate that. Well, I want to keep the show going as long as I can. I think we need a few things. We need sponsorship for that show too, for it to continue. So I would like the show to keep going, and Dirty Mo has been incredible to work with. Dale Jr., he's a race fan. He loves racing, even though he's a NASCAR guy. And for them to have brought us on, I think is really, really cool. But yeah, we'll see. We've got a couple episodes left before our off season of podcast off seasoning.
Yeah.
But that show, I would love to continue. I think that we need a few things to help us continue it, but I would love that show to continue. And honestly, to see the people that have every week just come up to me and said Speed Street, I'm like, oh, thank you for listening.
Random Indy 500 driver of the week.
Oh yeah, it's my favorite segment. We love to learn about IndyCar racing, and honestly, I just like talking about racing in general. So hopefully, we can continue that. And I appreciate the fact that you guys listen. And I would like to. One thing that I try to get people on my show to say is, I want your 2 IndyCar champion predictions for next year and Indy 500 winning predictions right now on the spot. I want an IndyCar champion prediction and Indy 500 winner prediction.
Okay, Indy 500 prediction.
Pato for the 500, Polo for the championship again.
Oh
no,
wow! 5 championships.
I am not going to go Polo for the championship. I'm going to go. Who the fuck is racing?
Quick.
I can't.
Who is racing?
I'm blanking. Okay, for 500, let's say David Malukas in the Penske. Let's throw that out there.
Wow.
Hot take.
I know, hot take. For the championship, Kyle
That is a hot
Kirkwood.
take.
Kyle Kirkwood.
We're just going to say that.
Kirkwood IndyCar champion. That's good. See, now that gets the people going. That's like, hey, that's exciting.
Think Andretti's onto something, and I think with Will Power, like losing Colton Herta sucks. Obviously, not losing, but like, losing Colton Herta sucks. But I think maybe with Will Power in there, it's just gonna like rocket them.
First half of the season, Kyle was the only other driver contending with Palou. So
exactly,
it's not a bad
so
call.
They
I'll
also
say,
got Ron Rzuski from Penske. They got a Penske guy over
and
there.
you know what?
So,
If Alex Palou is taking a major pay cut because of these McLaren things happening right now, I wouldn't be as motivated to drive. Just saying.
I can't.
You don't need to comment on that. You don't need to comment on that.
I might. That's a wild situation. I train with Alex Palou here, and Alex Palou is a great guy. He's become a very good friend of mine.
Yeah,
man, that's a
can of worms.
Let me tell you, if there's one thing that we've learned this year about motor racing, we've got a big NASCAR lawsuit going on. A lot of the actual conversations that happen behind the scenes have come to light in that one, and so has this one.
Mm-hmm.
So let me tell you, the racing world, although it is wonderful and creates amazing times for families and folks that work there for a long time, it's dark behind the scenes sometimes. It's dark. It's tough. It's the weeds are gross. They're nasty down there. It's bad. It's dirty. A lot of moss on the side of the pond. A lot of algae on the surface of the water. Oof, it's gross at times.
Keep going. Do you have any more metaphors for this?
No, but I enjoyed those, honestly. I thought that was fun. Big water guy, big pond guy.
Really quick before we wrap up, we are new NASCAR fans. We're started, like we've been trying to get into it. I appreciate the racing. I really do. I think that Netflix also did a fantastic job of getting people from other motorsport series to watch NASCAR if they don't already. I am assuming that, and you guys are covering the playoffs. Who do you think is going to finish up?
You know what? I think NASCAR racing is honestly, I enjoy it a lot of the times. I really do. And my experience in the Daytona 500, although it was not really an experience that was a good one, very cool to be out there and learn a little bit more about that sport. Because I think, again, NASCAR does not get enough credit from people that don't come. Like, a lot of open wheel fans immediately like, that's dumb. That's NASCAR, a bunch of hillbillies. It's actually not. Very smart people, incredible engineering, incredible aerodynamicists there. Like, there's a lot of stuff there that's very fascinating. And it's really cool to learn from a driver's perspective too. Very difficult to get into. Mm-hmm. Who is going to win the championship for the NASCAR Cup Series? Well, I think Conor Zilisch is going to win.
Winner too.
Conor Zilisch is going to win the Xfinity Championship, then the Cup Championship, then go to Red Bull and F1. Boom. I hope so. I don't know. That would be awesome. I want to see Conor Zilisch in a Formula One car. That's my low-key racing take that I want to have.
If an IndyCar driver would break the brains of the typical F1 fan, never mind a NASCAR driver in F1.
I love it.
Cup champion to Formula One. Woo! That would make so many people so mad on the internet, and I would love it. I would love to see it.
What's your prediction?
And Conor Zilisch in Formula One. Hang that in the art museums of every motorsport racing fan of all time. I want to see that.
Yeah.
What's your prediction for Formula One championship?
Oh wait, I got to predict NASCAR.
He did Xfinity. He didn't do Cup Series.
Sorry, Conor Zilisch winning the Xfinity Championship. I think it was really bad of them to let Joey Logano in at the last race. So, because Joey Logano is a sneaky, all of a sudden he's very good and he's going to win the championship.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to say this, but I think Joey Logano could win the championship again.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
But Denny Hamlin is my guy. He's also AM/PM sponsored, and he's on pole for tomorrow. So Denny Hamlin, he's also my podcast guy, podcasting together. So I like Denny.
And he's never won, right? He's never won the Cup Series.
No, but I want to see Denny win one. So I would like to see Denny do it.
Yeah. Okay, and then
although Joey's sneaky pick, Denny Hamlin though.
Yeah. F1, we're coming down to the wire here. 6 races, I think, left. I know that you have friends.
Lando's my guy.
Lando, that's what I thought.
I like Lando as a friend and a good person, and I like Lando. So I think he is. Yeah, I like Lando for the championship.
No, I get it.
I literally he had a couple races ago when everything went south. I forget which race it was, but I think he DNF'd and Piastri won or something like that. And I was like, I just sent him a text. I said, guess what? the bounce back is even better. And he won the next race. And I was like, told you. So it was a great to see him. It's been a fun championship to follow, honestly. Fun championship to follow.
It really has.
I think people are painting a little bit more drama than there actually is. Like at the end of the day, it's just two good teammates who are battling for a championship. Like you got to just like that's kind of wild, but
yeah, absolutely.
I love it.
Yeah,
I think two great drivers going for a championship, and I want to see Lando.
Hey, don't write out Max Verstappen.
That's true. He's a dog.
He's yeah. That's
we don't know.
Max,
no one knows.
Max is still like an alien level of talent. Yeah. Like he's still one of the best, or the best that is out there. I think right now it's crazy.
Yeah. This has been a sit down with one of our favorites, Conor Daly.
We are Track Talk.
Hey, ciao for now.
Hell yeah.
Was that good?
Yeah, that was
good.